I do read, as you described, the 5 papers and lots of 10Ks and 10Qs. Unfortunately, I'm not a fast reader, and I'm not as fast as I used to be on reading. But I don't know how effective various speed reading classes may be, but if they are effective, I would really suggest anybody that can improve their speed. I wish I could read a lot faster than I can. Charlie can read faster than I can, and it's a huge advantage to be able to read fast. And there's that old Woody Allen story about how he took the speed reading course, and he met somebody who was telling how wonderful it was, and the guy said, "Well, give me an example." He said, and Woody Allen said, "Well," he said, "I read War and Peace last night in 20 minutes. It's about Russia." Man. That's the problem I have when I try and read fast. I get all through reading the book and I say it's about business. So I really don't know the effectiveness of speed reading type courses, but if you know of any friends or you can learn more about that, and there are effective techniques. Obviously, the thing to do is to learn them very young, because there's really, there's nothing, there's hardly anything more pleasurable, than reading and reading and reading and reading. And Charlie and I do a lot of it. We continue to do a lot of it, but I don't do it as fast as I would like to. Charlie?
Well, I think speed is overestimated. I had a roommate at Caltech who had a very distinguished mind, and I could do problems faster than he could, but he never made a mistake, and I did. So I wouldn't be too discouraged if you have to go a little slower. What the hell difference does it make? I'll pass that peanut brittle for him.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You may have noticed we have a 15-pound box out for sale in the other room, but Charlie was looking for a 25-pound box.
Well, Costco, of course, is a business that became the best in the world in its category, and it did it with an extreme meritocracy and an extreme ethical duty, self-imposed, to take all its cost advantages as fast as it could accumulate them and pass them on to the customers. And of course that created ferocious customer loyalty. And it's been a wonderful business to watch. And of course strange things happen when you do that and do that long enough. Costco has one store in Korea that will do over 400 million in sales this year. These are figures that can't exist in retailing, but of course they do. And so that's an example of somebody having the right managerial system, the right personnel selection system, the right ethics, the right diligence, and et cetera, et cetera. That is quite rare. And if once or twice in a lifetime you're associated with such a business, you're a very lucky person. And
we basically don't participate in auctions, and actually just very, very recently we were asked to participate in one, and we're just not interested. They may end up getting less money than they would have gotten from us, but if they want to auction it, the one thing I can guarantee them, is that when they get all through, we will not pay them what we would have paid them originally if they stepped up. So they get a very certain deal. They got a very significant price, in my view, and in the view of two advisors. And if they had said we want to conduct an auction, we would have said good luck, and we'd have looked at something else.
Has anybody else got an easy question?
I think nuclear power is an important part of the the world's equation really in dealing with its problems on emission. It's very long term because you're not going to change the installed base in any hurry. And as you know, France has a very high percentage of nuclear power, and actually 20% of the electricity generated in the United States comes from nuclear power. I probably am getting some of mine from we have at Fort Calhoun we have a nuclear facility. Not we, but Omaha Public Power District has a nuclear facility I've actually been in. But I think nuclear power is important, and I think it's safe. I think that I don't think nuclear power is going to go anyplace in the United States for a while, maybe quite a while, because of the reaction to what happened in Tokyo, with Tokyo Electric Power. But that doesn't change my view as to the advisability of continuing to develop nuclear power, not only in the United States, but around the world. I think some people misinterpreted what I said when I was interviewed, when I said that I thought it would add a major setback in its development just because of the popular reaction to what happened in Japan. But that has not changed my view that nuclear power is important for the future of this country and the world. Charlie?
Yeah, we can't be so risk averse that things that have a very tiny chance of making a big dent in one subsidiary are unendurable for us. We have to have a certain reasonable amount of courage in operating this company.
Yeah. We have pipeline. We have gas pipeline. You can dream of all kinds of worst case situations. We have to carry toxic materials on. We're required by law to carry those on the railroad, and you can picture the wrong place, the wrong time, everything. But we are not bearing any risks, in my view, ever, that threaten the enterprise. I mean, that is one thing I think about all of the time. I regard myself as the chief risk officer of Berkshire, and that is not something to be delegated to a committee, in my view, at all. So I think about whether I think about derivative positions, whether I think about leverage, whether I'm thinking about nuclear power plants or anything. I mean, we are not doing anything that I know of that pressing my imagination as far as I can threatens me losing a night's sleep over Berkshire's well-being.
Yeah, I think you could also count on any new nuclear plant built in Iowa will be a hell of a lot safer than the ones we already have. We are learning as we go along here.
Yeah. And obviously, more people have lost their lives by far in coal mine accidents, than ever in the United States. Have suffered no losses from anything involved nuclearly, with it producing 20% of the electricity used by 309 million people.
And if a tsunami gets to Iowa, it will be a hell of a tsunami.
Yeah. And our railroad won't do so well either.